Hello and welcome. I'm Samantha Mackay, lead trainer at Truity. And as you know, I love personality type, and not just for the sake of it, because of how it can help people and we can practically apply it in the real world to help us find more satisfying careers and greater, love lives. And I always get thrilled when I get the chance to chat to someone who is doing just that with their work. And today I'm talking with Adrian Klaphaak, a founder and coach at A Path That Fits, and he helps people find fulfilling careers, and part of which includes using their personality type. Welcome, Adrian.
Thanks, Samantha. Good to be here. You said my last name correctly with no prior coaching. So
Well, I did listen to some of your material in advance, so
I
otherwise,
see.
trust me, I would not have.
I see. Well, you've done your homework. Thank you.
You're most welcome. So tell me a little bit about A Path That Fits.
Yeah, we do career coaching primarily, and our specialty is helping people find their calling. So we are not just trying to help somebody get a job, or I shouldn't say just, it's not as if it's easy to get a job or unimportant, but we're really looking for what is that thing that you are meant to do that uses your innate gifts, that allows you to do what you love, and that is going to support the life that you want to live financially. So we see that, we call that a path that fits. And that's what we love to do.
So how do people know when they've found their calling?
Yeah, that is the question, right? Well, I think it often happens as a gradual crystallization through that process of learning more about who they are, remembering more about what they're good at, what they love, how they're wired. They start to see the pieces of the puzzle kind of come together. So I would sort of caution people in the midst of a career change from waiting for or looking for a enormous occurrence where like the heavens part and the thunderbolt comes down
Lightning
and
strikes.
lightning strikes and God is speaking and not so much that. I mean, that could happen, um, but what I've seen is that more gradual clarity building. So I can think of um, Mary realizing actually upon taking or reading the results of her Truity personality type assessment, realizing that what she needed in order to thrive was to be collaborating and connecting with other people. And it helped her understand, oh, this is why my job hasn't been such a good fit. And then it helped her clarify what she could do, what other careers would make better use, be more collaborative. And that was the clarity she needed, the aha she needed to leave her job. And in her case, she actually left her job and became a consultant because she wanted to continue to have the income and needed it. But as she was consulting, she was doing that part time. She had more time to pursue one of the other careers that she was excited about, which was being a mindfulness educator. So she was starting that up as well. And um, that type of transition worked really well for her. And I see this a lot with other clients, starting something on the side. So that's a little tangential to the how does somebody know what their calling is, but relevant. And then I can think of, another client, David, who when discovering his gifts, he described it as a jackpot moment. It was like, oh, okay, my gifts have more to do with being strategic and relating to people, coaching people. And so he was an individual contributor, salesperson, and wasn't sure whether to continue in that role, maybe work for another company or not, or take a management position and step into more of his leadership abilities. And discovering his gifts clarified for him, aha, I need to go in the direction of leadership and management. That makes better use of my innate gifts, and made that transition. And um, I later continued and worked with his team, and they loved him. He was thriving in that role.
How do you help people find that? Because I know it can be really daunting for many people on their path.
Yeah, it is a challenging thing to do. And I think also privilege to be asking that question. Some people, many of us, are needing to find work
Yeah.
or maintain a job just to support our families. And that is noble and important. And then some people are asking, what am I really here to do? Like, okay, I have a job. I've worked in it for a number of years. Maybe even I've been quite successful in it, but it's been lacking in that deeper meaning or sense of purpose that I want or that I'm now looking for. And so how do we do that? Yeah, it is ambitious. How do we do it? Well, I always will say to people, before you ask yourself, what should I do with my work, or what should I do next in my career? Ask yourself, who am I? So that's where we start. We start by helping somebody get to know more deeply, or maybe not get to know like they don't know at all, but reclarify or remember, who are you? And we break that question down as it relates to career and it relates to finding one's calling, into helping somebody discover their gifts, helping somebody discover what they're passionate about, and also what they need in order to thrive in their work. And that's where personality type comes in for us. So helping people with that one piece of the who am I question, which is, how am I wired? What do I need in order to thrive? What am I best suited for? And so that level of understanding that personality type can really support. And then we take all those things together as part of this who am I question. And we're really looking for, like, okay, what's at the intersection of all those things? What are the core themes about you? And usually that has to do with one's purpose. Like, who am I and what am I really here to do? And once we know that, we come back to the question, what should I be doing? And no longer is it sort of this vague feeling of infinite possibilities or being pulled in this direction and that direction, but there's this sort of internal clarity that leads to, well, what I should do is do what I am, is live out my purpose, and so we can then come up with usually a handful of career ideas that somebody can then start to explore and research and talk to people and figure out, okay, which one really feels right for me.
I love that phrase, remembering yourself.
Hmm.
Like, we've forgotten ourselves through this process of entering the, like, either school or the world of work, and it's
Hmm.
somehow been beaten out of us a little, and it's coming back to ourselves.
That's right.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's so commonplace too that when we enter or exist in an academic environment, which is usually a lot of, you need to study this, you have to do this in order to graduate, these are the curriculum, maybe you have some choice within that. And then in
Mm,
higher education, there's of course more choice, but it's still so often predetermined what we're learning. And so we get into this sort of routine of doing what we're told we need to do, or what not just we're told, but what we have to do in order to progress in this
yeah.
system. And then also in work, we can even do work that's really aligned with what we love and who we are, and get lost amidst all of the responsibilities, deadlines, requirements. And so yeah, that process of coming back to ourselves, of rediscovering or remembering, I think really is accurate. It's not that we, don't know. It's like we've just lost the connection to
Mm,
what who we are, what really matters to us on a deeper level, in the midst of just so much pressure and obligation to fulfill in our lives today.
yeah. Now I can imagine personality and knowing your personality type plays a huge role in remembering of yourself. So, I mean, you described it a little bit, but more practically, how do you use someone's personality type to help them remember themselves?
Yeah, it really fills in, I think, one of the key challenges in figuring out what is my path or what career is right for me. And so the place that I'll use it is after helping somebody to discover their gifts and their passions. We'll use personality type to get more concrete about, what do I need in order to thrive in my work and in my life. And it's not just what do I need in order to thrive, but also, like, how am I wired? How do I perceive the world? What tasks and situations, will I be able to feel most authentic and at ease and natural in? And then the other thing I think that Truity does a really good job of is making that information digestible in the reports that it provides, as well as connecting personality type to career paths. So in Truity's assessment, they'll say, like if it was me, I'm an INFJ. And then after learning about my personality type, there's also recommended careers. So that connection from who am I to what careers are right for me is a really tricky spot in the career coaching journey to walk a client through. And I really appreciate how Truity's assessments do that. They help give us not only that inner knowledge of who am I, but they help make that transition from the inner knowledge to, okay, what am I going to do with this? What careers would be a good fit for me as an INFJ? And Truity lays them out right there. And it's not that every single one of them resonates, but it's for me to say, or for a client to say, yeah, this one, I'm interested in that. I want to learn more about that. Or yeah, this one, I see how that would use my gift of relating to people, or my gift of critical thinking. And so, okay, I'm going to go and learn more about that.
Makes that practical connection, like real world connection.
And of course, we see people who will go and do something radically different. Like I call this a career revolution. Somebody I can think of, Sean, somebody I worked with who was a project manager, and at 36, 37 decided to become a physician, and just it's radical change,
Yeah.
right? And then there's people like Rami, who was in sales for a company she loved, and she, through this process, realized, I'm not that far off. There's a lot of things, a lot of ways that my work is aligned with who I am, but I'm not that passionate about sales. I'd love to create events. And so she shifted in her same company into an events marketing role. And that was huge, made a huge difference for her. So I never know, like, what is it about somebody? Why do some people do something big and radical? Some people a less radical but still significant pivot? I don't know. It's a great question.
What would you suggest if someone was looking for coaching? Like, what are some of the things they should think about or consider when looking for a career coach?
I think a lot of it is about the fit in a way of resonance. Like, do I feel like, one, this person has the knowledge, experience, expertise to support me, to guide me towards what I want through the challenges that I'm sitting with. So there's that piece. But then I also think that there's hopefully a real genuine excitement to work with whatever coach you're seeing. Like, yeah, this is cool. I think this is really gonna support me. I feel that excitement to do this. So yes, the first one, but also not just that. That there's also an excitement. Like, I'm going to enjoy this. This is going to be fun. This is going to be meaningful, deep, and productive. But also, this is going to be fun. This is going to be an engaging, exciting process. Like, I'd want to talk to this person. I look forward to talking to this person once a week or every couple of weeks or whatever it is.
Well, this has been fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing your insight and wisdom and experience about, not just applying career coaching and personality, but just what it means to find a fulfilling career. It's been really wonderful. Thank you for talking with me today.
Yeah, it has been really fun. Thank you, Samantha. I really appreciate the opportunity, the questions, and the conversation. Thank you.
And how can people find you?
apachthatfits.com. Which,
nice and easy. Love it.
Yes, and also is kind of a mouthful. So hopefully there's a URL somewhere visible.
There will be. Absolutely.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Bye.
Thank you.